I'm just so nervous for Janelle. I hope it works for her. I don't want to be a downer at all for her, but gosh, I just don't think Kody's gonna like it there at all. Just saying it. He loves his routines and his comforts and a bigger house. And it's just like another excuse to stay at Robyn's house, sorry.
Robyn makes it convenient for me to be there. She, enforces my relationship or reinforces my relationship with my children.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday, October 12th. It's the middle of the week. Happy hump day. On this season of Sister Wives, we're finally learning that functional polygamy is not a thing, and that what we've known the whole time is that this whole thing is a farce, is for real. I actually read this article on Gawker. I didn't even know that was still a website, and it was basically saying that like 17 years of this season brought us to the point where we're finally here, where everyone knew. So you can like disregard all 16 seasons because this is the only season that matters. And I was like, yeah, kind of. So this new season has been filled with a lot. And for a documentarian style show like this, it's showing us the truth of what's going on. And that is that Christine is leaving and Janelle's deciding to move out onto Coyote Pass, and she buys this fifth wheel, right? And Kody doesn't want to live with her. And Christine thinks it's going to be another excuse for Kody to not spend time at Janelle's house and to spend time with Robyn.
Get it.
With Robyn. News at 11. Okay, so let's talk about this new clip that just got dropped by TLC. And before we do, can you do me a huge favor? Give this video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when I go live or if new content loads. And as always, leave some comments if you have something to say, and share this video with your friends. Do you guys buy things sight unseen? Do you? Does anyone? I bought this top sight unseen. I bought it online. I bought the jeans I'm wearing sight unseen. I bought it online. A trailer I probably would not buy sight unseen, but that's exactly what Janelle did. And she ended up buying the trailer and then parking it out on the property. And after she parked it out at the property, she was with all the ladies as they saw her off, or they saw her in, or was it as they saw her in? Was it a housewarming? I don't know.
I guess Janelle living in this trailer wouldn't be too far off of the mobile home that we lived in with Kody and me and Janelle and Christine. When you're living in a 3-bedroom mobile home with 3 wives, it just gets, you have to have a lot of patience. And you have to be very aware of your surroundings.
Janelle's like, come on over and we'll have a barbecue. And then Mary is reminded and reminiscing about the time they lived in a house, which was a mobile home, and they lived in a 3-bedroom mobile home. And I think this is the one in Wyoming. Maybe it was in Montana. I don't know. And she said you have to be very aware of your surroundings. Does that mean you got to know when somebody's getting it on and you got to know when someone's not getting it on? Could you imagine being in a house with 3 bedrooms in a thin-walled mobile home, which I'm assuming it wasn't very big. She said it was like small, and he's doing it with your sister wife. Oh, I feel ill just thinking about that. So she thinks that, it's small. Okay, so they're going to be in a room with Savannah. Do you really think Kody and Janelle are getting it on still? They're not making babies, so I doubt it. That's just me.
I'm just so nervous for Janelle. I'm just so nervous for Janelle. I hope it works for her. I don't want to be a downer at all for her, but gosh, I just don't think Kody's gonna like it there at all. Just saying it. He loves his routines and his comforts and a bigger house. And it's just like another excuse to stay at Robyn's house, sorry.
Okay, so Christine is literally the sister wife that says everything that we're already thinking. And that was what the article was basically saying, is that like Finally, for the first time in 16 seasons, you're getting a sister wife that's completely done with the shenanigans that is Kody Brown, and you're finally getting like an honest assessment of someone, like place me or you in there, and she says what we're thinking. Like, she's so done with Kody's idiotic behavior, right? And now she's like, he's gonna use this as an excuse to just spend more time at Robyn's house. I'm totally scared for her. He likes to have his comforts of home. I mean, if you had the choice between staying in an RV or going back to Robyn's house, which is 6,000 square feet, what would you do? And you're Kody and you like to have nice things. You would go to the house. That's a no-brainer. But that's just me. If you were a good husband, you would stay with your wife. But Kody's not a good husband. So there's that.
Robyn makes it convenient for me to be there. She, enforces my relationship or reinforces my relationship with my children.
So Kody's explanation for why he spends time at Robyn's house is that she makes his house comfortable. Okay. And she enforces. And then he catches himself and he's like, reinforces, I mean. Forces, enforces. Like, you will get along with your dad. You will obey him. Damn it. And then he goes, no, reinforces my relationship with the kids. No, listen, I'm a mom. I don't sit there and go like, you better do this and you better do that. Like, my husband and I are like on the same team. And so we have this rule, like, if mommy says no, daddy says no, right? That's like, I guess, a reinforcement. But like, enforcing it would be like, you better listen to your dad. Oof. No, thank you. What do you think he means by enforces? I would love to be a fly on the wall.
I know that Janelle and Kody have had a lot of tension through the last year and a half because of COVID. Is this going to be something that brings them together because they're working together on this RV? Or is it going to be something that they're frustrated, he's frustrated that this got chosen? Keep praying for them, praying that they'll get some of this stuff figured out.
Okay, so Robyn says that she's aware that Kody and Janelle have had a frustrating year and a half with COVID, and that she's not sure how this is going to go. She's not sure if Kody and her are going to get on the same page and enjoy this experience together because they're working towards the same goal of doing something at Coyote Pass, or if it's going to cause more of an issue in their relationship. She's just going to pray about it. That's like literally not the answer, but whatever. She's always aware of what's going on with Kody. Isn't that funny? Because I thought Kody didn't talk to them about his problems. He's not supposed to tell her about his relationship problems. Robyn, why do you know all these things? Okay, so that's just my, they watch the show, so they have to know, and then they've had some fights in front of each other, so I get it. But come on now, can't you just be optimistic? Or maybe you just know it's another excuse for him not to go over to her house and to stay with you.
In plural marriage, if you're not around a lot for a wife, she takes it personal. She starts to feel like a victim. She feels like plural marriage is unfair. Janelle has a tiny little kitchen and a tiny little house and a tiny little bathroom. If I'm not around, she will start to feel like she's marginalized.
Okay, so apparently Kody says that in plural marriage, if you don't give a wife enough time, she feels like the victim. Kody feels like he throws that victim word out so much. I feel like he's part of that woke side or the unwoke side. I don't know. Who's the group that is always like, oh, I'm not a victim? Like, you can be a victim. But, they don't want anyone to ever play the victim. And literally, women in polygamy are victims. I'm just saying. But they're going to feel victimized because they're not getting as much time with the man. And so he's like, well, she picked this RV and it has a small kitchen and it's small. Kody's legitimately telling you right here that he's too good for this trailer. Like, he's too good for her and too good for her at this point. I'm too good for this, Janelle. I need my my 6,000 square foot mansion. I don't need this. I'm just going to go with the wife that has the bigger house, that I got her because I like her better. Just saying.
But she made choices that are major inconvenience to me, to my lifestyle, because she wanted this RV. Now there's an inclination for me to go, well, I've got hot water at Robyn's house. Why am I going to sit here and suffer with you with your choices? The situation is what it is. Janelle made a choice. I will accommodate that choice as best I can and then make my own choices.
So apparently Kody says that her choices are going to be the factor for why he makes the decisions that he makes. She made the decision to buy this RV without his permission and without consulting him. And, you know, she's not living in the way that he wants to live. And so she's going to get the consequence of that choice. So her choice is, I want to live in the RV, and he's going to say, my choice is I want hot water. My choice is I want a comfy bed. I don't want to stay in an RV. He's such a diva. Who do you think is more high maintenance in this family? Kody or the wives? Kody or the wives? I'm going to go with Kody. I mean, that RV is not that bad. Come on now. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's literally not. I mean, it could be worse, Kody. He's literally going to use this as an excuse to not spend time with her. And, you know, some of you in the comments said that you thought that Janelle was actually doing this as a way to sort of like push Kody and see what he was going to do and what his objective would do, and like put up or shut up kind of thing. I don't think that's what it was. I honestly think she just wanted to build. But I also think that she thought that this was what she was going to do, and she wanted to try out living out on the RV, and she thought this would be a great idea. I don't think she thought about long term what it would mean to like live in a tiny RV with her daughter who's in high school, who needs space and is going to feel crammed up in this RV. You know what I mean? So I don't think she thought about that component. I think she already feels like an empty nester, but she's not an empty nester. And it's not a wise choice. There was really no reason to do this, but she wanted to do it, and it's making a good storyline. And maybe this is her way of saying, like, if I do this, I want to see if he'll move in with me. And maybe she got her answer, but she's still with Kody. So I don't know. I can't understand the decisions that she makes. Obviously, this doesn't become a long-term decision because she ended up renting a townhouse or a house. I can't remember. And they're in a rental now in town. But I'm sure he does use this as an excuse to spend more time at Robyn's house. And she makes the house more comfortable for him, more accommodating for him. That made me think about how, did you know that Robyn actually grew up in a community, like kind of like a closed community in Pinesdale, Montana, which is supposed to be like the promised land for the AUB. It was a piece of property that Rulon Allred, her grandfather, Christine's grandfather, bought. And there was this sort of long-term goal that they would build their compound up there. It would be like where they go, you know? So, you know how the FLDS has Short Creek and it's all down on the Colorado City Hilldale border between Colorado and Arizona? The AUB's promised land was going to be in Pinesdale, Montana, and that's where she grew up, and Robyn grew up. And so she grew up more in a closed community that was all polygamist. And so I think she might have learned obedience to a different degree than maybe the others who didn't grow up in the closed communities. They had a little bit more freedom of thought, and that probably wasn't as much of an option for Robyn. So she learned to obey, submit, and be a good, subservient wife. That might be why she's more obedient and more submissive to Kody, because of growing up in a closed society, or a more closed society than the other sister wives. That's just my thought. And Janelle did not grow up in a closed society. She grew up independent. She didn't go to, you know, she wasn't a polygamist as a child. So she didn't have anything to compare it to. Robyn grew up in a closed community in the promised land of the AUB in Pinesdale, Montana. She was supposed to be the perfect wife. Maybe that's why Kody picked her. I don't know. But Kody is not going to live with Janelle because she has cold water and a small kitchen. A small kitchen? Really, Kody? When was the last time you actually did cooking? God, he's such a diva. All right. What are your thoughts about this? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.